Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis.
And I'm Jacqueline Matter. Thanks for joining us this evening. Our top story this hour, former Sarasota County Sheriff's Deputy Frank Bybee is on trial, accused of stealing thousands of dollars from an elderly woman and then trying to kill her.
The victim, 80-year-old Marcia Soul, taking the stand on the first day of this trial. She describes the months leading up to the night she says Bybee tried to kill her. ABC 7's Jess Dowdrick joins us live from the Sarasota County Judicial Center tonight with a look at day one of the Bybee trial. Jess?
Good evening, Jacqueline and Scott. 1 minute, the courtroom was heated. The next, the witness was shedding tears. Now, after the defense and the state both shared their opening statements and a sheriff's deputy who responded to the victim's house took the stand, the victim herself was able to share her story. The state and defense agree on one thing. Marcia Soul and Frank Bybee met last fall when the deputy was called to Soul's house to Baker Act her, taking her to Sarasota Memorial Hospital after she talked about committing suicide. But from there on out, the defense says Soul's story is a lie.
Two sides to every story. And this case is no different.
The defense trying to discredit Soul by telling the jury that she suffers from severe depression and that she's isolated herself from every friend and family member.
You will hear that she suffers from bipolar disorder. You will hear that she suffers from borderline personality disorder.
Soul took the stand to tell the jury her side of the story. After the hospital trip, Soul says Bybee started helping her with odd jobs around the house, painting, fixing broken doors, and taking care of her dog. Soul eventually became unhappy with their relationship.
Because he was taking over my life. When I would ask him not to do something, he would do it anyhow.
Eventually, Soul ended up in a mental health institution after she claims Bybee wrote a note to her doctor saying she was going to commit suicide. The day that she got out, January 11th, 2017, is the same day Soul says Bybee came to her house and tried to kill her.
I tried to get away from him. He put his hands on my face like this and like this. And I kept moving around trying to get away and kept waiting to see the white light that you're supposed to see before you die.
She says he tried to force her to take 2 different kinds of pills.
And I started saying, "Oh, Frank, please, please stop, go away, don't hurt me anymore."
Bybee was still there when Soul says she fell asleep that night. When she woke up the next day, she says he was gone. Now, Bybee is also charged with stealing $65,000 from Soul. Now, the trial will resume at 9 o'clock tomorrow morning, where Soul will be back on the stand and the defense will finish their cross-examination. Reporting live in Sarasota, Jess Dowdrick, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Jess, thank you so much. The city of Northport is close to officially approving medical cannabis dispensaries. The city has held several public meetings since last November's election when voters approved medical cannabis across the state. Since then, the city has drafted a number of ordinances. Last night's vote was the latest. There's only one more ordinance reading and vote. If approved, the last reading dispensaries would be allowed to open up within the city.
A 20-year-old Sarasota woman is charged with 4 more counts of burglary. Sarah Young was initially arrested on September 19th and charged with 2 counts of burglary and 2 counts of criminal use of personal ID information. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office continued their investigation into numerous other burglaries on Siesta Key and connected Young with 4 additional crimes. Young was arrested by detectives on Friday and is again being held on a $6,000 bond.
Time to get a check on our weather now with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan. The first alert forecast, Bob.
Well, we are looking at some big storms right now, mainly inland east of I-75, although Northport has had a little bit of rainfall earlier today. That activity just near I-75, not moving much, so flooding a big concern here into east Sarasota County and as well as southeastern portions of Manatee County. Notice Palmetto, Bradenton, Holmes Beach, southward Longboat Key, Siesta, everything looking good right here, but the inland areas have been getting some very heavy rainfall. These storms have not been moving much either. They kind of met right there as these were moving to the north, these were moving to the south, and they collided, and showers and storms have been hanging around there for the last hour now. And so quite a few lightning strikes too right there near Northport and just to the north of that up and through State Road 72. Currently though, near the coast, it's sunny and 86. The dew point temperature up there at 74 right now, the heat index at 94. Well, Well, in the tropics, we have another major hurricane. Lee has made a comeback, Category 3. Maria actually has come back to a hurricane now. It was a tropical storm. And look at this down here. We talked about it a few days ago, area of disturbed weather. And this is some very heavy rainfall. Nothing organized right now, but it is going to be moving northward. We'll talk about that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. 1 week has passed since Hurricane Maria made landfall in Puerto Rico. The island still has no power. It's becoming increasingly difficult to find food, fresh water, and in some cases, life-saving medical care. A military plane carrying 3,500 pounds of bottled water, ready-to-eat meals, and other crucial supplies landed in San Juan from Miami this morning.
And even though Puerto Rico is miles away, Suncoast residents are stepping up to help. ABC 7's Bobeth Yates has more on the efforts underway across our area.
From the loss of power to the loss of their personal belongings, the island of Puerto Rico is still dealing with the aftermath of Hurricane Maria. But right behind me, a collection is underway to get those people the items that can get them back on track.
I bought medical stuff, medications, Band-Aids, diarrhea medication, Aleve.
Londa Martin was among the many dropping off items at the Bradenton, Puerto Rico Relief Collection site. The move comes after Hurricane Maria's Category 4 winds ravished the island and left more than 3.4 million people without power.
I feel that it's desperate for them and for me because we want to do more, but we can't right now. So I feel very with my hand like this because we can't do more.
Puerto Rican native Lorna Garcia says after days of no communication, she finally made contact with her friends and family back home. She says hearing they were okay made her happy, but hearing the details of their circumstances broke her heart. It inspired her to join forces with several other locations throughout Tampa Bay to gather as many supplies as possible for those devastated by the storm.
Right now I said, oh God, how can I help them? Because I don't have all the money.
So Garcia's church, the First Church of the Nazarene, agreed to open its doors to donations.
Puerto Rico is our neighbor, and we have the responsibility to love and embrace and help in all the ways it's possible.
With the help of the National Guard and several other churches, the items being collected at the First Church of the Nazarene will be shipped to the island Friday.
Remember, they're without power in Puerto Rico right now. They don't know how long they will stay without power. So we try to help.
Collection for the Puerto Rican relief effort will continue through Thursday, 9 p.m. Officials are asking for everything from food to clothing and even cleaning supplies. Bobeth Yates, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Bobeth, thank you. Venice's Agape flights are loading up a plane to send relief aid to Puerto Rico. Now, Agape does not normally fly there, but as we've seen, the island is in desperate need of aid. Agape will be delivering 21,000 pounds of non-perishable food, diapers, chainsaws, and generators.
It's the toothpaste, the shampoo, toothbrushes, soap, washcloths, mouthwash, stuff like that that's in there that they just don't have.
Agape's planes will leave tomorrow morning. Once they're on the ground, the supplies will be given to local churches to deliver the goods to where they are needed the most.
Thousands of people turning out for the World Rowing Championships today in Nathan Benderson Park and this week as well. Attendance was helped a bit by the hundreds of Suncoast students who played a bit of hooky today and were bussed in to watch the event. Today, first responders and veterans were also allowed to go in for free, and they'll be able to get half-price tickets throughout the rest of the week. The head of Visit Sarasota County says the event has gone just as she hoped it would.
I could not be happier with the week so far. The athletes are having an amazing time. Everyone I've spoken to is blown away by this facility. Definitely exceeded our expectations.
Well, the races wrap up with finals this weekend at Nathan Benderson Park.
23 combat boots sit in front of the veterans at a suicide memorial in Northport. That memorial is at the Veterans of Foreign War Post 8203 to mark the 22 veterans lost to suicide every day, along with the one lost to suicide while still serving. The Veteran Suicide Memorial will be up for 22 days throughout September for Suicide Prevention Vet Awareness Month and into October. The memorial was put together by the VFW auxiliary members to let veterans know that they can get help. In fact, any veteran who comes in looking for help there will be directed to services who can then assist them. We thank them for that.
We certainly do, and it's definitely hard to go watch something like that and see those types of things, but you know, it is a little bit solemn and reflective to be able to share in something like that.
Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, a state-created property insurer says Hurricane Irma will cause more than $1 billion in insured losses to that company alone after Irma.
And a group representing nursing homes is challenging the governor's order to install generators, why they feel his request is impossible.
Now you can win a $50 Visa. It's easy. Just enter the word of the week at mysuncoast.com. This week's word is pumpkin. We'll pick a winner each week. Good luck.
Animal Outtakes is moving to a new time. Now zoos can sleep in a little later. Starting September 30th, you can catch Animal Outtakes every Saturday morning, now at 11:30 a.m. on ABC 7.
Hi, I'm Chef Bob. Watch Aprons in the Kitchen every Wednesday morning on ABC 7, where we'll be serving up the most awesome dishes. Then stop by your neighborhood Publix, pick up the recipe card and all the ingredients.
It's no small wonder anybody loves it all.
I just love art that moves me.
No small,
I mean really moves me.
One.
Sunset Fiat of Sarasota presents No Small Wonder. High performance style. Let the art of Fiat move you.
Attention type 2 diabetics. The FDA warns of an increased risk of amputation associated with certain diabetes medications. If you took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation or one of these other serious injuries, call the Rely On Group right now. If you've suffered amputation or any of these injuries after taking your diabetes medication, call the Rely On Group today. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA has recently warned about an increased risk of leg and foot amputations associated with the use of certain diabetic medications such as Invokana and Invokamet. If you or a loved one took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation, ketoacidosis, kidney failure, or even death, call the Rely On Group now. We are here to help you get the justice you deserve. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-355-8205. That's 800-355-8205.
For more than 100 years, American Humane Association has been teaching kids to be kind to animals. Those in our homes, on the farms, on the silver screen, and wildlife conservation, caring for the world's vanishing creatures. But we can't do it alone. Visit kindness100.org to find ways to teach kids how they can make a more caring, compassionate, and humane world for all of us.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
Florida's state-created property insurer says Hurricane Irma will cause more than $1 billion in insured losses to the company. Citizens Property Insurance presenting initial estimates about storm damage to the company's Board of Governors today. Officials say Citizens had ample resources to pay up to 70,000 claims and roughly $1.2 billion in insured losses expected after the storm. The company says the losses would be paid from its surplus, with $193 million expected to be reimbursed from the Florida Hurricane Catastrophe Fund. Most claims filed so far have come from Miami-Dade, Monroe, and Broward counties.
A group representing nursing homes and assisted living facilities is challenging Governor Rick Scott's order to install generators. Scott ordered these facilities to install the units as a response to the 11 deaths in a Hollywood nursing home following Hurricane Irma. Leading Age Florida filed a legal challenge with the state today, claiming that the order is impossible to meet by the December 1st deadline. The group says it falls the day after hurricane season ends, so the order would not affect the current hurricane season.
And there is something to watch in the tropics, something new. Bob will have that right after this.
The Alfa Romeo Stelvio takes the modern compact luxury crossover and injects it with personality.
Every crossover should be this good to drive.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
What to do when your heating or air conditioning needs service or, heaven forbid, replacement? Call Air Now today. We've been serving Sarasota and Manatee County since 1946. We offer $49.95 tune-ups, lease or finance options, and remember, service today or it's free.
This is an important announcement. If you're between 50 and 85 and worried about your loved ones, you can still get affordable life insurance for peace of mind.
My life insurance coverage is guaranteed, and I was not required to get a medical exam.
I had high blood pressure and diabetes, and I got my coverage with one telephone call. No exam necessary.
I'm a smoker, and I wanted to take care of my family. I called to get my life insurance and my affairs in order. I wanted to do the right thing.
Call Final Expense No Exam Insurance. Your rates are guaranteed and will never increase.
I called and learned that this insurance cannot be canceled even if you get sick or gain weight.
And there are no restrictions on how my beneficiaries use the money when I'm gone.
Approval was easy and the price was right. I wanted to do this for my children.
Call 800-738-9812. 800-738-9812.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
If you or a loved one has mesothelioma or been diagnosed with another asbestos-related cancer, call now. An estimated $30 billion in court-ordered trusts have been set aside to pay out claims to asbestos victims. You may be able to receive compensation without ever going to court or filing a lawsuit. Thousands of hardworking men and women have been diagnosed with mesothelioma because manufacturers put profits ahead of safety. Manufacturers knew the risks of asbestos exposure for years, but knowingly manufactured and sold deadly asbestos-containing materials, putting millions of American workers at risk. These manufacturers have tried to avoid compensating their victims, but the courts have ordered them to set aside an estimated $30 billion in trust money for the victims of asbestos. Call now to see if you're entitled to a portion of the $30 billion. You could receive compensation without filing a lawsuit or going to court.
Call 1-800-990-7362 now for a free legal consultation. Again, that's 1-800-990-7362. I'm a non-attorney spokesperson.
When severe weather strikes, trust ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
I went in skeptical and came away impressed.
Stelvio can spring from a standstill to 60 miles per hour in 5.4 seconds, a segment best.
Rediscover your passion for driving at Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
It's the time of year to watch the Caribbean.
Right.
For anything tropical. Right?
That's when things start to change. You know, it moves from the Atlantic to the western portion of the Caribbean where water temperatures are still 90 degrees there, and the other hurricanes have kind of cooled the water in the Atlantic. So we look less and less to the Atlantic, more to the Caribbean, and certainly we have a system that could be developing down there. We'll talk about that a little bit more. The worrisome part of it is that we're going to see a lot of rainfall from the system, and with all the debris in the roadway or near the roadway, if rains come, it's going to certainly wash down toward the drains, and so flooding can be a real issue. We saw that last Friday when we had a big storm move through in a short period of time, produced some very heavy rainfall and caused some pretty quick flooding across some of the area roadways. So this is going to be a concern over the weekend and into early next week. Right now, some heavy rain falling down to East Manatee and right there near Northport, stretching down toward Venice, but not really staying away from Venice right now. There's I-75. You can see it's building in that general direction. Mayaca City, pretty big cell. This will break down eventually and head toward the Gulf, but not until later on tonight. So there's a chance for some evening showers. This one has the possibility of some small hail, but the biggest impact is flooding at this point, and that's not all that big on the Titan radar scale. Well, this is a large area of low pressure. There's no centralized area of circulation at this point, but you'll notice that the convection is starting to deepen up well down south of Jamaica right now. The Hurricane Center giving this a 20% chance only of developing into a tropical depression or tropical storm, but one thing it is going to do definitely is bring our moisture increase significantly our way beginning on Saturday and especially on Sunday and Monday. Looks like this upper level low will continue to spin around here, but it will exit, and this is drawing that moisture up from the south right now. So as that dry air leaves. Moisture will come up and showers and storms will be in the forecast Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Some of that rain could be heavy at times. That's the thing we're looking at right now is a potential for some heavy rainfall. 86 on the temperature. Dew point is at 74. Makes it feel like 94 out there. And the high today was above average and low this morning was at 71. 94 the record set in 1925. We don't need any more rain. We're well above average for the month and for the year, but unfortunately it looks like we're going to get some. Even a chance for a few scattered showers and storms overnight. And now that activity will not be all that strong. It will be isolated. Temperatures will be dropping down into the low 70s for the most part. Well, here's that disturbance. You can see it quite clearly on this enhanced satellite imagery. And then we have this Lee is now a major hurricane heading off to the west. And this one, Maria, is back to hurricane status. Top winds at 75. It had dropped below that just yesterday. And now it's back up to 75-mile-an-hour winds. Its gusts are up to 90, but it's heading away from the United States, heading toward London, and looks like it could cause some problems down the road for that. Now, as far as Lee is concerned, top winds at 115, making it the 5th major hurricane of the season. There's only been 4 other seasons, I believe, that has done that. Winds are going to lessen up somewhat tonight as it makes its way to the north and eventually off to the northeast, and it will fade away, it looks like, over the next 3 days. Temperatures, fall has made its way in across much of the Central Rockies and Northern Plains states. Still warm in Washington now, 89 degrees there, 88 in Atlanta, 92 in New Orleans, but Denver, a cooler 55, Minneapolis at 65. And Chicago had been in the 90s the past couple of days. It's now cooled to where it needs to be for this time of year, typically right around 70 degrees. East winds turn to the northwest at 5 to 10 knots. There'll be a light chop out there. Water temperature still into the mid-80s. High tide upcoming 8:43, and a low tide will be just after midnight. Another high tide at 5:36 tonight. Isolated showers and a few thunderstorms are still possible. Otherwise, partly cloudy. Most people will say partly cloudy overnight. And then tomorrow, 20% chance for storms, a high near 90. The extended forecast, look out for the rain, and it turns windy too as that tropical disturbance moves close to us on Sunday and Monday. Rain chance really jumps up as well. We'll be right back after this.
Tonight, Puerto Rico, the unfolding disaster. Millions without power, food and water running scarce as the White House defends its response. Are we on the brink of a humanitarian crisis? World News Tonight with David Muir, America's most watched newscast.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
It's Willamania at the Players Center as the Will Rogers Follies takes the stage September 27th. Part homespun humor and part Ziegfeld Follies, this toe-tapping Tony Award musical is the start of our wild Broadway series. So call the Players at 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. You need to catch Willamania.
As a singer-songwriter, it's all about creating high-performance art that moves people. Same is true in making gorgeous cars. Fiat designs it. You're the artist.
Choose your palette just about any color combo inside out. No small wonder, state-of-the-art style Fiat.
Now this moves me. Well, they're playing my song.
Let the art of Fiat move you at Fiat of Sarasota.
When severe weather strikes, trust ABC7 First Alert Weather. We're here for you.
For your plumbing, electrical, or air conditioning, and services is qualified, and service calls are free. And services.com, A-N-D, services.com.
Local organizations want rowing visitors to see everything we have to offer.
ABC 7's Linda Carson is here with more in the Spotlight.
In the spotlight, a brand new event called Sarasota Sunset on the Bay.
A time to really celebrate our community, the sunset, and the World Rowing Championship.
There'll be some great entertainment.
The bands will be yesterday's and also the West Coast Black Theater Troupe. So lots of dancing, lots of great times.
ABC7's Ray Collins will be the MC. It's a party with a purpose to show off Sarasota.
We're welcoming the athletes, we're welcoming all the international spectators are here to really experience what Sarasota is known for, and that is the beauty of Sarasota Bay, a gorgeous sunset. We think it's going to be a great time.
They're getting the word out to the visitors in town.
We have opportunities with each of the hotels to encourage all of the guests to come down to the bayfront between 4 and 8.
And they're also making it easy for local folks to come.
We're also going to be accessing the iRide system, so for all of our locals, you can park at some of the downtown hotels, get the iRide to come over to the Van Wezel, and then afterwards head downtown or to one of your favorite food or dining spots.
It'll be a great way to get over all the stress that Irma brought our way.
We've all definitely had some crazy moments with the hurricane, and one way to celebrate that we've come through it as a community is to gather, to have camaraderie, really enjoy a night out.
It's a great way of us to introduce our wonderful area to the international folks.
It's Saturday from 4 to 8 on the bay behind the Van Wezel. It's rain or shine. If it rains, we'll just move inside the Van Wezel, and admission is free. Linda Carson, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Linda. Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, World News Tonight with David Meir coming up next.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.
Attention Sarasota and surrounding cities. It's the final days of the Bacon's Furniture Relocation Sell-Off. We must liquidate everything in the store at huge savings as fast as possible. Do not miss this opportunity to purchase quality sofas, bedrooms, dining rooms, patio furniture, mattresses, and more. All at the absolute lowest prices possible. Don't miss the final days of the Bacon's Furniture and Design Relocation Sell-Off. Nobody beats Bacon's.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $10 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand, with no surprises, and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received J.D. Power Awards for highest customer service. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 1-800-468-1930. Go online or visit a Target store today.
Call to see if you qualify to enroll in a Medicare Advantage plan right now. At Humana, we believe great things are ahead of you when you start with healthy. And part of staying healthy means choosing the right Medicare plan. Humana can help. With Original Medicare, you're covered for hospital stays and doctor office visits when you're sick, but keep in mind you'll have to pay a deductible for each. A Medicare supplement plan can cover your deductibles and co-insurance, but you may pay higher premiums than you do with other plans, and prescription drug coverage isn't included. But with an all-in-one Humana Medicare Advantage plan, you could get all that coverage plus Part D prescription drug benefits, all for an affordable monthly plan premium, and in some areas, no plan premium. It's all described in this free book and DVD. Call for yours and discover how an all-in-one Medicare Advantage plan from Humana could save you money. Call 1-800-558-8779.
There are many choices when it comes to AC companies. Our advice? Choose a company that performs employee background checks and is licensed with top manufacturers like Daikin. Daikin offers a 12-year parts and labor limited warranty. For better comfort and value, call Elite Heating and Air.